Hey, what's going on, guys? Shane here. So Ricardo and I had our first boxing matches down at the Carolina Gloves Tournament in North Carolina. You can see me off to the right, rocking the Jeff cap there. And although we didn't win the tournament, Ricardo won his first fight in spectacular fashion with a beautiful right hand. Check it out. So on that note, we're going to take a look at 5 ways to defend and counter somebody who has a really good right hand. What's going on, everybody? Shane here.
It's Ricardo. I'm back, guys.
He's back, baby, and today we're talking about 5 ways to beat someone who's got a good right hand. Let's take a look at some defenses and some counters. All right, so I'm going to give you all 5 of them right off the bat, and then I'll break down the concepts and give you more details behind them. All right, so let's look at the first one. Ricardo tries to blast me with the right hand, and I simply block it or catch it with my lead hand. He throws another one, I can catch it with my rear hand. He throws it again, I can helmet guard. He throws it again, I can slip, or he throws it and I can pull. Bang. All right. Now that those are your defenses, we want to make sure that we make him pay for throwing those punches, so we're going to counter them. So the first one was catching with my lead hand. He throws that cross, I can just counter with my right hand right behind it. All right. He throws it again, and I catch with my rear hand, and I can counter with my lead hook. He throws it again, I'm going to helmet guard. Maybe he's a little bit tighter, and I can counter with an uppercut to the head or to the body. He throws it again, and I slip, and then I get that body shot or an uppercut underneath. And then he throws it, and I pull, and I come back with a cross of my own. All right? Let's talk about the concepts behind these defenses and what we're ultimately trying to do. So when I'm teaching people boxing, especially when it comes to defenses, I like to think of my arms as swords and shields. All right, and when we're talking about sword fighting, I'm not just using my sword to attack or to stab or to slice, but I'm using it to also parry and to defend, right? So when Ricardo throws these punches here, what I'm doing is I can catch this punch here, and I'm literally catching it like it's a ball, and I have a mitt on, right? So I'm using the palm of my hand to catch that punch from coming in. Ultimately, what I'm doing with this first one is just stopping the weapon from hitting the target. So I'm stopping his knuckles from hitting my face by putting something in between it, my hand, my palm, right? So the distance in which I reach with this hand varies on your style, right? So if you got someone like George Foreman, so if you're back in your guard, George Foreman used to go like this, and he used to reach all the way far out here, so this is what you call a long guard. Now what you have to be careful of is if I don't have contact of this hand, Ricardo can loop around my arm, boom, and catch me with an overhand right. But the concept here is what Foreman did really well was he'd come in, he'd catch these hands, and Ricardo tries to throw a right hand from here, or yeah, if you're coming straight down the pipe with it, I just redirect it, right? You see a lot of Muay Thai fighters use this style with the long guard. They use their shoulders to protect their face. All right, but what if I do this, and he keeps catching me over top? What can I do? So if he throws that looping right hand, bang, we just go to number 2. Again, all I'm doing is just putting an object in between his weapon and my face. Again, use your shields, whether you're using them to actually block the punch, or if you're using to catch the punch, or using to deflect the punch. So again, he throws the rear straight, and maybe now I'm in more of a Philly shell, and I'm baiting that right hand, right? I drop my lead hand, I'm like, hit me with that. He throws the right hand, bang, now I just bring this other hand across to block that punch from coming in, and then I can counter with the hook over top. All right, so now you're probably thinking, if I'm standing here and I put my hand here, well, that leaves the left side of my face open for Ricardo's left hook. So let's say he goes with a cross hook. He throws a right hand and a left hook. I just bring this hand back. Or can I throw the right hand through the left hook, go here, and then cross like this? Yeah, we're seeing Dustin Poirier's using that skull and crossbones, or the mummy guard, right? Joe Frazier would use this one a lot, where he'd cross his arms like this to block incoming punches, and then rush forward for leaping lead hooks, right? So he'd go here, whatever you're throwing, throw a right hand, bang, and then he'd come over top with that leaping lead hook, all right? So let's go to the next one now. Now I'm bringing my guard from a long guard to a medium guard to a short guard, right? So I'm talking about helmet guards. So if Ricardo throws that right hand and I want it to come all the way to me, and I'm kind of deflecting it off of my elbow, bringing my guard up real high and tight to my head, that's an option right there, right? And again, if he's throwing like a hook or something, then I really need to answer the telephone. Let's say you throw a right hook in tight. I really need to protect my head by lifting my arm up, by bringing my thumb to my shoulder, and people are gonna say, what was that, a cat? Did you hear that? And people are going to say, well, now that exposes your body. And it's like, yeah, but there's going to be some sort of exposure to your guard once you leave this position. Once you start to lift your hand or reach for punches, that's just the name of the game. We're going to be trying to do that to each other to create chinks in the armor and then capitalize on them. But again, I can keep this pillar here and just block with anywhere from my fingertips to my elbow up to the shoulder. That's your entire shield, that's your entire sword. When Ricardo throws that, I can have a medium guard and just keep it right here, and I'm just kind of blocking with my wrist or my forearm. If I wanted a tighter guard, maybe I hang out right here and he throws that, then it's more of a helmet guard. But again, I deflect that punch, I don't want to take the brunt of it, and then I'm capitalizing on it with my counter. And what I mean by not taking the brunt of it is I don't want the energy to transfer through my arm into my head. I still want there to be some sort of deflection. And you can see there's that lifting elbow, and just the angle of my arm is going to chip the punch up and away. Okay? Now we're going into head movement. This is always the best option because you're not taking any damage, right? Even getting hit in the arms, you can beat up your arms, and if you're in a pro fight and you're going 12 rounds, it's going to take a toll, and it's going to start to, your hands are going to start to drop. You're not going to have as much power in your punches, so the best option is always to not get hit at all. So we're going to slip the punch. So if Ricardo throws that punch, I'm getting to his outside. You see, I take this micro step so I can get close enough for my counter, or whether it's a hook to the body, uppercut underneath, something like that. So all I'm doing is just compressing and taking my head off what we say the center line, right? So he's aiming, his punch is coming right down the center line. Let's say you stop right here. All I'm doing is I'm just getting a little bit closer towards him. I'm getting to the outside, and I'm keeping this hand up as a just in case, right? So there's some of that deflection going on here. If there's that right hand, kind of deflect it off here, bang, then I got my counter shot from there. I can also slip and roll to the other side, right? If he throws that right hand and my head's over here, I can get underneath of the punch. I'm still getting to that same position ultimately, but it's by slipping in the other direction, bending at the knees, and rolling underneath, or bobbing and weaving. And then finally, pulling. So again, just creating more distance. We're not slipping or evading the punch so much as just creating space in between his weapon and the target, being my head. When he throws that punch, bang. I'm taking a micro step with my rear leg now as I'm stepping back, tucking my chin, lifting my shoulder again as a just in case. I can use this one as a just in case. But you'll notice the arm drops, and if you watch Floyd when he does his pull counter, what you'll notice is when you shoot your arms out, it acts as a counterbalance to pull yourself back in, right? If you keep your arms up and do it, you're carrying all the weight of your arms back here, and it's going to be a lot more work on the low back, on the back leg, and it's going to slow you down. So if you can judge the distance correctly, then I can drop my hands, or even both hands. Now I'm coming right back with a shot of my own, all right? Now, with these different defenses that we're doing here, this is part of a full drill that I like doing that covers defenses to all of these punches. We're just talking about how to defend against the right hand, but I like going down the list of every single punch that my opponent is potentially going to throw at me, and making sure that I just have a full 360-degree coverage with those punches. I call it the armadillo drill, and I'm going to share that with you on the premium network on Fighttips.com. All right, so it's going to be exclusive on there. If you want access to that drill, you can do it with a partner. You can do it on your own in shadowboxing. It's one that I do with Ricardo all the time. And again, it's just a good way to remind yourself to use both your swords, both your shields, whether it's parrying, catching, blocking, or evading those shots. All right, guys, there you have it. 5 ways to beat someone who's got a good right hand. Defend it, counter it, make them pay for it. Shut down their best attack. All right, if you want to get access to that armadillo drill and all of our other exclusive courses, then make sure you become a premium member on Fighttips.com. Links in the description below. First 2 weeks are completely free, so if it's not exactly what you're looking for, cancel it. You won't get charged anything at all. All right, until next time, I'm Shane.
I'm Ricardo.
Fight Tips for the underdogs.